Hey guys, so today I just wanted to take some time and talk about why I'm a teacher and why I decided to become a teacher. So I might have talked about this in previous videos, but I'm going to go a little bit deeper if possible, so let's just see where this goes. So in high school, I really wanted to be, at least in my mind, a meteorologist. I always had a fascination with weather growing up, and I always enjoyed watching the Weather Channel and the shows that they had on there. I also really liked to watch Jim Cantore and some of those other big meteorologists when they would go out to cover a hurricane and they'd be in it, and it'd be so neat just to watch them. So sometimes I would think about myself doing that. But as I gained knowledge and learned what the profession of being a meteorologist required, I quickly learned that it wasn't for me, even though I was the weatherman for my high school's TV station. I wish I had a picture of that. I don't think I have one readily available, so I'm sorry if you wanted to see that. But music was always a very important focal point in my life from a very early age. Now this part I may have touched on in a previous video, but the reason I feel today that I am a musician is because of Mr. Rogers. Now for those of you who don't know who Mr. Rogers was, he was the guy who had the television show Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood that would be on those PBS stations. And I used to love watching him go and sit down at a piano and just start playing. And I remember watching him in the late 1990s when I started watching him on television, when he would do that, and I thought that was so cool. So I asked my parents if I could start playing piano, and 16 years later, I am still playing piano. Shortly after I started piano, I started playing saxophone, eventually majoring in that instrument in college, and eventually earning my bachelor's degree in music education. So here's the question the title is proposing. Why do I teach? Well, there's several reasons. One, students, most of them, are awesome. My favorite thing about teaching anything at all, whether it's in a classroom or not, to someone who doesn't understand something, is the reaction that their face gets when they finally understand it after not understanding it previously before. Sometimes it's like a, like a light bulb kind of thing, or sometimes it's kind of like an oh kind of thing. That reaction, to me, is the whole purpose behind why I'm in this profession in the first place. Another reason I teach is to help those students that I feel are in the same shoes that I was in when I was their age. I wasn't into sports or video games that normal boys my age in middle school and even before middle school were into. I like trains and music and the arts and being creative. Not to say that sports and video games aren't creative, it's just I didn't particularly care for those things. And it's because of that, the differences in me, the students saw as an easy target and would attack me. Not physically though. Very rarely was I ever attacked physically. So becoming a teacher has helped me to find those students who are like me, different in those ways, or maybe even some other ways that I haven't mentioned, and to help them understand that their differences aren't something to be ashamed of. Because, and I can say this because of the institution I work at, God created them that way. And God does not create junk. When I was very young, like elementary school age, there were only two jobs that I would ever act out or play, as you say. And they were teacher and priest. Now you can chalk that up as just being a coincidence, but someone like me doesn't think that's any coincidence. So if you just want a straight answer from me as to why I teach and not this long drawn out video that you just spent about 3 minutes watching, it's to help students realize that they were created for a specific purpose and to fulfill a specific purpose that only they are meant for. I don't know how I can be much more clear than that. Thank you all for watching. God bless. I will see you tomorrow.